Hey, what's up SEO pros? Big news! I recently discovered SEO Nitro, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. In just days, I saw incredible results that blew my mind. With SEO Nitro, you can get links from thousands of different C-block IPs, with most powerful links at a fraction of the cost. Patented software lets you control your entire backlink profile in minutes. Add, remove, and change links at any time. Protect your site from Google's changes with SEO Nitro's revolutionary backlinking software. Imagine having the power to have laser-targeted themed backlinks, automated link spinning, set it and forget it. Thousands of stellar sites and manual and automated posting options. SEO Nitro is the ultimate SEO weapon. Head on to SEONitro.com now to revolutionize your SEO game. Don't miss out on page 1. It's just click away. Hey, what's up everyone? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the SEO video show. Stefan, my man, the first one here. What's up? If you guys haven't seen SEO Nitro or even used SEO Nitro, check it out, SEONitro.com. I actually got some really great results from it. I've been using it for a little over a month now, maybe like 2 months now. Great stuff. SEONitro.com. If you're just tuning in, we have Ansley today, and we'll be talking about entity SEO. Andrew actually ranks number 1 in Google for entity SEO. If you search entity SEO, that's his article, number 1 on Google. Raj, what's up, my man? Did you get your Ferrari yet? So waiting on my Lamborghini. Don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. We have Andrew Ansley, and we'll be talking about increasing your rankings with entity SEO. We'll go over about topical maps. I got some great questions for him that will help us guide us through entity SEO and being successful in it. Andrew will be speaking at the SEO Spring Training Conference in Arizona in April. Go to SEOspringtraining.com to get your tickets. Should be a great one. And if you didn't know, I'm actually interviewing a bunch of the speakers leading up to it. So like Andrew's one of them. So you get to know them a little better, see what they specialize in. You can bring on your questions, a little about them before they actually speak. About 6.5 more minutes to go. Sure to get your shouts out. Let me know where you're watching from. It's a lovely day here in the Bay Area. Waiting for Andrew to come in the back. I saw him pop in the other day. That's one thing I get scared giving my dial in early, because you get patched into my studio, and I'm in my studio. I'm gonna do like all kinds of things in my studio. Let me make sure he's not pinging me on Facebook. No, he's good. If you're watching on LinkedIn or on Twitter or on Facebook, it may be a challenge for me to ask if you ask questions or have any questions. So come over to YouTube and ask your questions if you have any questions. If I do catch them, I will ask them. I won't be able to pop it on the screen. What is C-block backlinks? Basically, your IP address, there's basically 256 IPs in one C block. So if you have backlinks from a totally different C block, you're on a totally different network. Which is why, backlinks from different C blocks is even better than different IPs. For those asking why we're talking about C-block backlinks, is because SEOnitro.com is the new sponsor of the SEO video show. And I'm actually also a customer and user. I love it. If you're just tuning in, we have Andrew Ansley coming in today to talk about increasing rankings with entity SEO. He ranks #1 for entity SEO on Google. That's his article, #1. I believe a Search Engine Land article. Let me make sure I give dial in so he has it. Don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Kobe, entity SEO, let's go. Guys, we got about less than 3 more minutes to go. Again, if you haven't checked out SEO Nitro, check out SEOnitro.com. Ernesto, yo. What's up, my man? Be sure to check out SEOspringtraining.com for some tickets. I believe there may be some discount tickets available. You have to check the website. They update it very frequently, so check it out, SEOspringtraining.com. Again, I will be the media partner. I'll be out there covering the event. Maybe even do an episode out there. We'll see if I can do that. When you live stream, I need a lot of bandwidth. Fletcher, hello everyone. What's up, Fletcher? Luther, hi. Hannah from Seattle, hello. Maddox says, hi, Andrew. All right, guys, we got less than a minute to go. I see Andrew trying to dial in, but I think he has to call back because it paused. Hey, the link won't let me use my camera. I see you. How's everyone doing? Says Victor. What's up? I'm going to add 1 more minute to the countdown just to make sure I can get... Oh, no. There we go. Let me make sure... Okay, but you're off. Let me see. Guys, if you're just tuning in, we have Andrew Ansley coming in. Oh, I see Andrew pop in. Andrew, can you hear me? Oh, wait, you're off now.
I'm trying to get the,
You were just on. I just saw you. There we go. Lovely.
Yes.
Lovely. There you go. Looking good. Sound good.
Yep.
All right. So we got about 28 more seconds to go for the countdown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a few videos in the very beginning for about 8 minutes. So about 8 minutes after the hour, I will introduce you into the show. Sound good?
Sounds great. Should I just mute myself until... Okay.
All right, guys. If you're just tuning in, we have Andrew Ansley, and today's topic we'll be talking about increasing rankings with entity SEO. I will see you guys on the other side.
Yeah. Hey, time to get it started. No delay. Let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO. You will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO video show where SEO is alive and fun. My name's Paul Andre De Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released in the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and my guest this week is the one and only Andrew Ansley. Before we get started, let's get what's up to everyone in chat. I see Victor, Maddox, Hannah, Luther, Fletcher, Ernesto, Kobe, Kalraj, Stefan. What's up, everyone? Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, what do SEOs use when they go fishing? Link bait!
All right, we have 3 ways to improve page speed by Martin Splitt. Let's check out this video.
In Google Search Console, you can use the URL inspection tool on the URL experiencing the issue. Don't use cache or site search operators and features because they are not meant for debugging purposes and might give you misleading outcomes when trying to use it in debugging. Instead, in the URL inspection tool, we can see if a page is indexed and indexable. We can see if and when it was last crawled, and if it hasn't been crawled yet, it can't be indexed, and it won't be showing in search results. Sometimes it's a matter of patience until the crawler gets around to this URL, but you can also request a crawl from this tool. The next thing to check after crawling is if it's been ignored as a duplicate and the canonical URL is on another one. Most of the time, this is fine. For example, when the HTTP URL is ignored in favor of the HTTPS URL. Even if this might not be the canonical URL you expected, the content is indexed and will be able to show up in search results, so this is generally fine. Last but not least, if there's still something amiss, you can check the rendered HTML and the HTTP response to see if there's something you won't expect. For example, a stray error message or content missing due to some technical issues on your server or in your application code.
I swear, I don't know how you could be an SEO without the use of Google Search Console and even the URL inspect. I mean, if there's just one tool in the world that you can use to become an SEO, it's GSC, and it's free, guys. All right, link building for local businesses on Whiteboard Friday. Let's check this one out.
The top 5, so the businesses that had the most first page rankings, they focus a lot on local and topical links. They're not going and building a ton of citations and saying like, oh, our link building is done. In fact, they don't really focus on citations as much. The bottom 5, which are still sites that rank on the first page of Google, but did not rank it for as many keywords, they had a huge focus on citations. And this is with their word count being similar. And their number of links being not really being a factor. What we saw was the biggest difference is what type of links they focused on. And those who focused more on local and topical outran the ones that just focus on citations. So I encourage you to look at the categorization, the type of links your competitors are building, and learn from that to create your own new backlink strategy where you can diversify your links and build a better profile for your business.
Local citations may not be as influential as, topical and local links, but I mean, do not rule them out at all. I mean, they're really cheap and take really no effort with the right provider. A past guest says he gets about 800 citations right off the bat and then starts working on obtaining those local and topical links. Okay, here's a simple local SEO photo hack. This one's pretty cool. Let's check this one out.
There is one simple local SEO photo hack you can use so your business ranks higher on Google search results and Google Maps for your location. If you've heard you should geotag your photos with your business's GPS coordinates, forget about it. It's complete nonsense and doesn't work. Here is what you should do instead. Include photos of well-known landmarks from your city or area on your website and Google Business Profile. Why? Because Google's AI is capable of recognizing and understanding the contents of a photo. To test this out yourself, head over to a tool called Google Vision AI. Let's use a photo of a well-known spot in New York. Google Vision AI can not only spot that it's the Empire State Building, but also figured out it's on Fifth Avenue. How cool is that for showing Google exactly where you're at? So next time you're updating your website or Google profile, add your own pictures of the big landmarks around your town. It's an easy way to help Google match your business with your location.
I mean, this is similar to creating those things to do pages in your city type of content on your site that, pair really well with schema markup. I mean, this is some type of form I think of entity SEO by kind of like really showing those entities that you are related to, which we'll talk more about later on today. Okay, how do you define diverse signal diversity? Let's check some out by Ted Kavitis.
There are primarily 4 buckets of diversity that we measure and take action on. That doesn't mean there aren't more buckets for diversity out there. But first and foremost is factor diversity. So the number of zones of a page you're kind of using, that type of thing. Then there's entity diversity. So for your on-topic entities, the entities that would come up conversationally about your keyword, do you have the complete collection? So think of them as Pokemon cards. It's not about having the most of each, it's about having the most complete collection. Same thing with LSI. LSI and entities are the same thing. They're just acquired through different means. And we do both because it gives you a more complete answer. And then referring domains, so your diversity of sources you accrue authority from.
Factor diversity has been a part of my SEO process when ranking pages. I mean, Cora is an excellent tool for this practice, but you can really use any tool that measures on-page factors. I mean, find all your 0 uses of a certain factor, keywords, or entities, and then add it in at least one time. Speaking of entities, this brings me to my favorite part of the show. Please ask questions on topic, and I will address them in the order that they receive. But before we get started, here's a word from our sponsor. Ever wondered how to get your brand noticed? I found the answer with Magic PR. Thanks to Magic PR, my brand now reaches over 300 plus premium news and media outlets. I've seen my news on AP, Bloomberg, Yahoo News, and many more. And it's not just about visibility. With Magic PR's unique SEO process, I've noticed incredible boost in traffic to my site and improved local and organic rankings. From crafting the perfect press release to building a powerful SEO campaign, Magic PR is always there for me. Want to experience the magic of PR? Try Magic PR just like I did. Watch your business reach new heights. Andrew is a data-driven SEO and content marketer. He sold his agency to focus on direct organic reference for enterprise businesses. He's written SEO-specific 10,000 plus word mega guides for SEO software companies. He sold hundreds of copies of his underground local SEO ranking SOP. He currently is working full-time as director of content and communications. He ranks #1 for entity SEO. Please welcome the founder of Content Sprout AI, Andrew Ansley. Andrew, my man, welcome to the show.
Oh man, I want to rip that intro that you made for me for my own YouTube channel. That's awesome.
Love it, love it. Everyone, let's give a round of applause. All right. This is the first question I ask all my professionals that come on here in 1 minute or less. How does Andrew get ranking on page 1 of Google?
Ooh. Honestly, clean site structure, easily navigatable for Google, just optimized internal links, and good content. Good content is very vague, but honestly, I used to be super black hat, started super black hat. I love black hat people, but honestly, I don't really do it that much anymore. You don't really need it. If you can just focus on how you structure your content, which we'll get into a little bit today, that's all you need. Process the entities better, flow that content in the way that Google wants to read it, and you're good to go.
Love it, love it. That was the first knowledge bomb of today. Hold on real quick. Let's rewind this real quick. Andrew, take us way back, way back. When did you first start getting into SEO?
Oh, man. I got into SEO largely as a result of me needing to switch careers. I was a salesperson. I guess I was doing sales a decade ago, and then I needed to go and do something else. And I ended up getting a philosophy degree. And then after that was like, while still doing sales. And then after that, I thought I would become, out of all things, a pastor, did not. And then switched completely gears, tried to search something where I was like, what can I do from home? What can I do that's creative? And then marketing came up. And then I said, what can you do with very little money? And SEO was like, oh, as long as you just put time into it, you got it. So I was like, all right, I can grind all day. And that's how I got into SEO. And I reached out to everyone in my city in Nashville. And I said, hey, agency, I'll work for free. Hey, freelancer, I'll work for free. I'll buy you lunch. And someone responded. His name was Jeremy Rivera. And he worked with John Henshaw, who was peers with Rand Fishkin. And that's kind of what started my SEO career. Started working for Raven Tools, an SEO SaaS, and it just all went from there.
Oh, I do remember Raven Tools. That was a pretty competitor of like Moz back then, right? That was like, yeah,
they screwed they listened to Google. Google threatened them, and they backed down. And Moz, Rand had a way of just being like, we'll get to it, Google, we'll get to it. They didn't back down. They were more strategic, and now no one knows Raven Tools really. Everyone knows Moz and Rand, and it's a sad story, but that's what happened.
Got it. So how'd you actually learn it? I mean, you said you called people up and you were trying to work for free. So, I mean, were you just learning it by just shadowing people? Were you working on client sites and testing stuff? How'd you learn it?
Yeah, so I first learned it I read every article I could find on Moz for probably 2 years worth of stuff. I stalked every single post I could find on SEO Signals Lab. I joined every single Facebook group because I had no idea about Signals Lab being the most quality one at the time. And after that, I read everything. Literally everything. And then I started asking questions. I hounded people in the SEO industry. Stephen Kang was influential for me. He actually took the time to listen. I went to conferences. I started talking to as many people as possible. And I had a mentor as well with Jeremy, and he helped me up into a certain point. And yeah, ultimately what led to the greatest success was me trying to rank my own website. And once I could rank for Nashville SEO, I was against OMG machines like Mike Long from OMG machines. And he didn't even live there, and he's still ranking #1. And I was just out of my league. But I was able to rank #1 for 3 months. And after that, it was just all history from there.
Love that. Niraj, we're about to get into it in about 1 or 2 minutes, so we'll talk about entity SEO. But I wanted to get into, you mentioned conferences. I mean, I've actually met you by looking, or kind of heard of you by looking into the speaker lineup at SEO Spring Training, which you are. So you're now speaking at conferences. You went there to learn. You started learning for conferences, and now you're speaking at conferences. I'm curious, that's cool. Yeah, that's totally awesome. I mean, is there a certain topic that you'll be speaking at the SEO Spring Training?
Yeah, it might be I might do a pivot. We'll see. But I am planning on doing a bunch of AI stuff. So there's all sorts of things that you can do with AI where just makes everything, it's applicable to anything you want to do. So what I've really spent the past year doing is reading everything I can on Google patents, reading everything I can from machine learning, going through courses. There's free courses that Stanford has. I find Google scientists that are researchers, and I find YouTube interviews, and I'll listen to those. I stalk the shit out of anyone that's associated with Google machine learning, and Basically, you can implement the lessons that they talk about, and it can help you do anything. You can build a software from it. You can prompt better. There's all sorts of things. So that's what I'll be talking about, some of those lessons.
Love that. Love that. Can't wait to hear that and check that out. So, man, we have the audience already excited to get into entity SEO. Niraj, if you have some questions, get them ready because we're going to start it right now. For those, to kick things off, I mean, at a basic level, what exactly is an entity when it comes to SEO?
Sure. To make it super simple, I already wrote down my notes because this is so easy. It's just in the context of SEO, an entity refers to a uniquely identifiable object or concept that is characterized by name, type, attributes, and the relationship to other entities. So that's kind of it. And entities are recognized and understood by search engines as distinct things with specific meanings.
Got it.
And you usually have an ID associated with it. So if I'm going to say Apple on my page, how do they know that it's Apple the company or Apple the fruit? Well, there's a literal ID that's associated in a knowledge base that Google is referring to. And that's what an entity is. And that's why they're useful.
All right. All right. So how is that different than targeting just keywords?
And targeting keywords, that's... I'd say the biggest difference is that a keyword is usually an entity, but it's not necessarily a, here, let me pull up my answer. It is, okay, here we go. How is it different? Okay, so I think the best place for me to start is a keyword is not going to necessarily be clear to Google. If I use a keyword inside of an article, if you open up Google Cloud NLP, for instance, it's a free tool that you can at least demo. You can put your content in there, and then it will tell you with a little score, and it'll say, hey, out of 0 to 1, what is the confidence score that it understands what you're talking about? So if I just put keywords, and I could keyword stuff, or I could put keywords in normal, like my best intention. I'm writing as a human, but robots don't process information the same way that humans do. And even though Google was designed with how the human mind thinks, it's not quite the same. So what's natural for us doesn't mean it's natural for the machines. So you could input those keywords all you want. And I see this with a lot of clients. And this is one of the main things I do when I first get started with any sort of client work that I'm doing, is look and make sure that the actual content is understood. Because you could have all these keywords in there and it's not, the actual entity understanding is weak. And it's generally because your headings and the first paragraph under those headings, there's a lot that can be done just by focusing on how you word your headings and how you structure your sentences and where you begin to talk about your keywords. I could go on and on and on, but that's the main difference here, is that while keywords are usually an entity of some kind, the way that Google understands it is going to be different. So you want to process that entity in a specific way.
Got it. Okay. Building on that, I mean, let's outline of what entity SEO is. I mean, at its core, why does it matter compared more than just like the traditional optimizations? And I think you kind of started kind of talking about it just right now, especially on the structure wise. Can you expand more on what is the whole entity SEO?
Yeah. So entity SEO, I would say, is it's the modern approach to search engine optimization. So it focuses on recognizing and understanding certain concepts, distinct things. And the first goal is, one, you need to try to help Google understand the entity. So let's see. Entities are most easily understood, I think, for people by focusing on Wikipedia, Wikidata. Okay. An entity in its clearest form is in Wikidata. So basically, it's just, this is an instance of this. This is an example of this. It is a subclass of this. That's called a structured database. So that's what an entity is. This is one of the reasons why schema is so powerful. So when you are doing entity SEO, one of the first things that you can do is, well, let's just take the existing content. While I should be reformatting it and optimizing it for entity SEO, I can begin by at least providing a back-end version for Google. That's all that schema is, really. And it's just providing very clear declarations. You're saying, same as this. This is an instance of this. And when I say same as, it's hey, I will even reference an existing database like Wikipedia or Wikidata and say, hey, when I'm using this keyword, I'm talking about this, being very, very specific. So that's one. Next is with entity SEO, I would say an understanding of the depth of content and the relevance. So we'll call it like topical borders. You could talk about all sorts of things with, let's just focus on a single article. If you wanted to talk about how to train a puppy, well, I think probably using a ChatGPT example would be great. If you've ever tried to create an article or an outline for using ChatGPT, a lot of times you guys have probably come across this issue where the outline is just going kind of off the rails. It's all relevant, but like for the purpose of the user and what they're actually there for, you are now leaving the context. And I'd say that's probably the main keyword to focus on with entity SEO is its context. What is the context of the search? What is the context of this page on your website? What is the context of this page within the whole cluster of pages? You're always focusing on context. And when you focus on that, you're able to get a better roadmap of what to actually target, just because you're able to actually understand the purpose of the article. And then you can get rid of all the fluff. So I would say that's probably the best answer I can give. The whole goal of it is process information clearer, give the user what they want, and achieve some level of topical authority so that Google actually sees you as, I see and recognize and understand that they've covered this, and this, and it has a certain threshold that nobody quite understands, that once you meet, you can become an authority. And if you can sustain that basic level of authority over time, that's when you actually become one of those seed sites that is trusted and Google's referring to first and comparing other people to you. So that's entity SEO at its core.
Excellent!
Love that. Love it. Love it. We have some few comments coming in from the audience. Kalraj asks us, does entities going to work in 2024?
Oh, of course. This is the way that Google will work. This is a Google update proof. This will work forever. Like this is how, unless Google changes how it's understanding information. I can describe this, and you gave like a general outline of things we'll talk about. So I'll wait to go deeper into why it'll work in 2024, but I'll give some comparisons to and explain that deeper later.
Love it, Kalraj. So stay tuned, Kalraj. All right. So Niraj asks, are entities used to impress and optimize for search engines? How Phrase AI or NeuroWriter help with it?
So how will Phrase AI and is it NeuroWriter?
Yeah, Neuron Writer.
Neuron Writer.
Yeah.
I can't speak for Neuron Writer. In the for people that really want to get into the nitty gritty and do AI writing on their own, what I've seen is people use ZimWriter and they use Neuron Writer in combination. And I know that Matt from ZimWriter also was one of his first forays into SEO was Phrase. So I think a lot of what he was trying to do is built off of that too. So I have whatever the AppSumo lifetime thing for Phrase is. I haven't used it in a while, but I will say that what I like about Phrase is general outlines. I don't know if I can trust necessarily what they're presenting me from an entity perspective. I will kind of switch this and say what I do trust is a tool called inlinks.com.
Inlinks.
And if you're familiar with Majestic SEO, Dixon, he is the ex-director of marketing for Majestic SEO. And he created this tool. And in my opinion, it's the best entity SEO tool out there if you're trying to do content briefs and just general entity SEO research.
Love that. Love that. And Dixon comes on here randomly sometimes just to give us some updates on InLinks. So he's constantly updating that, guys. So be sure to check out InLinks. I think it's inlinks.net if you want to check that out. All right. So
I think he bought the .com domain. So now he has both.
There you go. So check it out, inlinks.com. All right. So let's get into, as a part of an effective entity SEO strategy, I read a lot of your stuff and you kind of talk about building topical maps. Can you explain what a topical map is and the key components of a topical map?
Would love to. My wife is so bored when I try to describe this stuff to her. It's just funny. This audience, I hope, won't be nearly as bored. So it is a conceptual framework that outlines the various topics and subtopics related to an entity or a subject matter or a subject area. Okay. So it's designed, when you create a topic map, it's designed to help content creators and SEO professionals understand and organize the breadth and depth of content that should be developed to establish topical authority and relevance for search engines. So the goal is to create a network of interrelated content that covers an entity comprehensively. So if I were to, I think a good visual for this would be a Wikipedia page on dogs. If you look at that sidebar and it's giving you all the different information on dogs, it's basically saying this is how we process a dog. This is how we understand a dog. It's the history of dogs. It's cultural relevance of dogs. It's it could be all sorts of things. The use case for man, that's like a specific context of how mankind and dogs connect with each other. It could be their anatomy. It could be dogs versus cats. There's all sorts of different elements that form this sort of topical map. And a Wikipedia page, I think, while not providing a full topic map, is a good example of how to cover that topic. And for really well-known topics, Wikipedia actually has a list or an overview of the topic, and that actually sometimes can get you the entire process of your topic map. But I'll give you the key components. So key component number one, you have the core entity, which is where you're starting from. So this is the main subject or concept, and then everything is kind of clustered around that. You have your subtopics. So these are the specific areas that need to be explored and covered in your content, so that the subtopics break down your main entity into more detailed and digestible pieces. So then you have related entities and concepts. So in addition to subtopics, we can call them microtopics. I don't know if that's a thing. I'll just call them microtopics. And microtopics are just, it keeps on drilling down in this hierarchy. So just in the same way that in H2, you have an H1, then an indent for an H2 and an indent for H3, and you just keep going further and further. That's the idea with a topic map. And this is why it's different too from, someone asked me for a hot take or something, and I said that keyword clusters aren't topic maps. They aren't. If you were to look at a Venn diagram, there would be some overlap, but they're not the same thing, because a keyword cluster isn't designed to outline that hierarchy. It's not designed to cover just full topic authority, because you could cover a lot of keywords that actually are processing the entity from like a very narrow angle. But you would get 500 keyword or 500 pages from your keyword cluster. That's not that's why it's not a topic map. So after that, in your topic map, you can continue to process it further, give yourself keywords and phrases. You can specify user intent. You can specify content structure, the content types. You can specify the quality or the depth of it. You can go pretty deep into this. And that's it.
Love it, love it. So when it comes to topical maps, it doesn't necessarily mean pages, right? Because you talk about these subjects. You can cover it. Can you cover like a topical map within one page, or do you are you talking
Not
about like
really?
Okay.
You really need. I would say the minimum that there's no hard and fast rule, but for me, my general operating procedure is 30 pages. Is kind of like the minimum for me. And I generally want to explore at least like 4 subtopics and then have 5 different ways of kind of expanding that. Maybe one thing that people are familiar with and would use another term for is a hub article. So you have hubs and spokes. So with that topic map, you could have VPN or something, and then you could have types and industries and their use cases, or the professions that use it. There's all sorts of ways to talk about it. But you could have a mega article that's just what is a VPN, and it's covering all those angles. And then you have individual spokes covering, it might be a page titled types of VPNs, or another page titled something else, or brands, companies that offer VPNs. And those would be your specific spokes. And those would, with the hub article, the goal isn't to be nearly as comprehensive. Your spokes are kind of deepening that level of understanding. It's really hard to, when you start reading the patents of how Google's crawling websites, to do while you could cover everything on a single page, that is not the way that you want to handle it. It's not how bots want to interact with stuff either. So I highly recommend do not do one page.
Love it. Stefan asks, "Hi Andrew, how do you create topical maps?" And that brings me to my next question here as well. I mean, I would love. I mean, this is a big one, guys. So get your pencils and paper ready, because I really want to. We really like Stefan, myself. We were talking about topical maps. I mean, I would love to know kind of a quick, high level, step by step from initial research and mapping to site content structure, because I know I kind of like talked about like how many pages. I mean, so like kind of like lay this out for us while you want to create one on a certain entity. So you said you first start off with an entity, right?
Yes. So you want to start off with some sort of it's what your website's about, right? Okay. So that's what if you've ever heard of Corey Tugbert, he's done probably the most for expanding the popularity of entities, and tons of respect for that man. Before that, it was probably Bill Slawski. And those two, I think, are the most well-known for establishing this. But there's a term called source context, or just your when I said that context is important earlier, you start with the highest level, which is the website. So what is the context of your site? Well, if it's a glasses website, but you're specifically selling glasses, like Warby Parker, for instance, then Warby Parker, their context is glasses company that or company that sells glasses. That's kind of like your main thing. Mm-hmm. So everything in that topic map needs to start from that sort of angle. So you can process a topic in a myriad of different ways. Like an affiliate site would not necessarily process things in the exact same way that Warby should. Warby could, when you actually make the thing, you actually have a lot more potential to cover, at least be relevant when you're covering all these other topics. When you're just an affiliate, you're probably just covering maybe how to, define what is best. What are the types of these things? What's the best one, the quality, all that kind of thing. So start with that. Once you start there, I try to find a Wikipedia page. Okay. Is there a Wikipedia page that's designated to glasses? Do they call it glasses? Is it called something else? What's the actual name? And then I go from there. Another thing is I've built my own system now where I've kind of automated like 80% of this, and I'll have it inside of my tool Content Sprout probably sometime in the next like 2 months. But if you're doing this the manual way, one, I still would use ChatGPT and ask for some sort of topical map. It would do a good job to at least get you started. And then from there, you're just kind of exploring on the internet. You're going to Wikipedia pages. You're looking at the SERP. So enter each of these concepts in. So if it's glasses, let's say glasses frames. Put that into Google. Look at I'm literally going to do this right now. The glasses frames. See what pops up. Okay, so I would do one. I want to look at those little bubbles that pop up. So women's, men's, prescription, nearby, designer, children's, round, cat eye, gold. So what I'm seeing, retro, half rim. So now I know that if I want to focus and create a topic map for around just the frame part, there's half rims, there's retro, there's oval, there's fashion, a fashion angle that's less about actual medical need. There's colors people are searching for. So shapes and colors. Then I have children, and I have women, and I have men. So that's already 5 different ways of processing that. So that's one way. Then you open up your image search. So in your image search, once again, you'll have, I'm reading this out, round, women's, square, trendy, transparent, men's, metal. So we have the actual material now. So now I know that instead of just shape, instead of just color, there's actual material. And then there's also fashionable. So these are all different ways. And then there's the people that you can talk about too that are on top of this. Korean, I had no idea I would have to explore this, but Korean is there as a way to process this topic map. Thin, so thickness now is another way to do this. Small, large, popular. You're going through and using the SERP to basically write down all these things. On top of that, there's actually people also ask. Make sure you look at that as well. Then there's a tool that I like to use called AnswerSocrates.com. Free tool. So Answer Socrates, you basically are you don't need the tool because you could use Google for this. But Answer Socrates is, hey, enter a topic. And what it's going to do is, you know how you have like the auto suggest and you have related searches and you have all those different aspects of Google trying to expand the topic for you. Well, it kind of just does that for you. And you have all of it listed in a screen, and it's free. So it's just like the easiest thing in the world. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing I would do. So if I wanted to search, let me put my glasses in here. Or I'm going to keep glasses frames just to make sure that glasses could be. Here's another thing to keep in mind. A lot of times, if you were to just do glasses, well, whiskey glasses would show up, or certain kinds of like other types of glasses. You don't want to get lost in that. So try to be specific. So I'm looking at questions. Are glasses frames FSA eligible? Can I reuse glasses frames? Should I? How? How do? What? When? Where are? Where is? Who? Why? Which? Will? Can, for, is, with, to, near, without. Then there's comparisons. So glasses frames and what else? Glasses frames compared with what? Glasses frames versus something else. Those are all different ways to process this topic. You write all of them down. Once you start mapping this, it becomes, there is an element where like all you're doing is gathering data, and then you got to use your noggin and say, well, I need to understand this topic. And a lot of times you can look at a competitor site, because a lot of times they're already processing that information and writing about it pretty thoroughly. So if you have an authority in the industry, just look at their site and how they've categorized their header nav, their footer nav, all that good stuff. And lastly, I've already used Wikipedia. If you want a shortcut for finding the Wikipedia pages, I like to use a tool called TextRaiser. And what I'll do is I'll just grab, or something I just started doing is I'll ask AI, write a comprehensive summary of glasses frames. I don't really care about what this content is, but I just want some content to shove into TextRaiser. So TextRaiser has like textraiser.com/demo, and you can use it for free. Paste that summary, and then what it's going to do is it will find all the Wikipedia pages for you and the Wikidata pages for you. So that's actually going to be even quicker. And once again, there are no paid tools in this process. I see someone's asking, for instance, SEO, what paid tools are worth the investment. You don't really need paid tools. I would say AI, Answer Socrates, TextRaiser, the Google Cloud demo. Those are all you really need. I don't know of a tool that's really out there for entity SEO. I would say the best one is Inlinks. Is like the goal of a good topic map is to be as comprehensive as possible. And Inlinks is not doing that either. It's giving you some stuff as well, making this process faster. But once again, you're still going to want to gather all that information yourself manually, and then you're good to go. So that's all I kind of do. And then you're just structuring it using the guides that you've seen on the internet. You can see the Wikipedia guides. You can see your the authorities that exist already. And then you're just using your noggin. And by the end of it, you have all of the raw materials to create your topic map.
Damn, I hope you guys got all of that right there. That was a lot of stuff. We had a bunch of comments coming in. Brian says, nice share, Andrew. Very cool site. And we actually have a question by Kalraj. Kalraj asks, if I make a backlink on the highest confidence entity anchor, does that going to help? Or am I thinking way too much?
I'm just thinking too much. So I would say if you're going to make, he wants a backlink or an internal link?
Backlink on highest confidence.
So I think I created on my YouTube channel, I created something called entity stacking. And I've only heard one other person talk about it. Charles Floats mentioned entity stacking too. And he might define it differently. Once again, we're all just making up words here. But the idea is you have a bunch of different ways that you can stack entities. So there is images. There are videos. There are all sorts of entity representations in there. There's the actual text. There's structured data. Then there's the actual architecture of your site, how everything's connecting. But there's also backlinks. So backlinks is another way of I think, establishing some sort of entity understanding. And backlinks have anchor text. That's another way. And not only anchor text, they have contextual paragraphs and contextual sentences as well. So I've tested it. If you actually control the full sentence that's contextual around your anchor text, you get more bang for your buck. It's not going to be huge, but once again, if we're talking you need 500 backlinks in your campaign and you can squeeze out 5% value more on each one, well, maybe I can save, 50 backlinks by just controlling the sentence. There's all sorts of different things that you can do here, little shortcuts. If you have a backlink on a page that is really well optimized, that's going to cut a lot of need for additional backlinks. I don't even focus on the authority. The authority of the website is, unless you're talking like DR80. If you're talking like super high websites that I think PageRank used to separate websites out. Ted's talked about this before, but Ted Kubitis. But there's like 10 levels, right? And it's pretty easy to get to a page rank of like 6. So I don't really put much value in that. Once you start, it gets a bell curve and it starts taking an immense amount of effort where like it doesn't even make sense trying to buy individual backlinks anymore. You're just trying to make waves in the industry, do data reports, get journalists to talk about you. Yeah. So if you are at that level, then yes, authority is something I pay attention to. Otherwise, it's just relevance. I'm looking for relevance. And the more relevant that page is, the better that backlink will be. So the final thing I'll say is that when you are, let's say there's a page called the types of glasses frames. Yeah, like you want that exact anchor, types of glasses frames, pointing to that page. Now you'll have a hub page that's what is it? It'll be the complete guide to glasses or whatever it is. You could put types of glasses frames on that page, but if I wanted to, let's say, have like, where would the bulk, let's say I want 10 backlinks that all say the same thing. I would want it going to the most specific page that I want to rank for that thing, because I'm trying to say with my entity stacking, hey, this entity, it's meant here. This anchor is pointing to here primarily. I don't want you to cannibalize my rankings. You got to be very, very clear with how you're designating things to Google. Don't know if I answered that, but that's in general how I'm viewing it.
Love that. A lot of great knowledge bombs just dropped right there, Kalaraj. Hopefully that helps you out. Brian Cato says, according to Ted, each DR tier is just based on log 10. We have a question here from Ryan. Yep. Ryan says, can Entity SEO help me rank in SGE? Have you been doing any SGE stuff?
Well, so think about it this way, is SGE is basically an application. We don't know the exact algorithm that's going behind an SGE result. What we do know is with Google Patents, there is a book, it's like 400 pages long, by Christian Balov, or Bazov, something like that. And one of the things that I did when I first got started on this path was I read that twice, and I was like, I need to master this. So it's called Entity-Oriented Search. I highly recommend that anyone who's interested in this topic take the time to read it. For people that aren't trying to build a tool, I'd say you only need to read about 100 of the pages. 100 pages of that, and it'll be pretty obvious which pages to read, just based on the table of contents. So I know that generative AI is using the same principles. Like all of these tools are using principles that were built on Word2Vec, BERT, RankBrain, like all these different things that exist, all these things. Passage ranking is a patent that Google has. There's all sorts of different things that exist. And the way that Google is using this for a search engine, well, that's just the way that, think about it this way, while it's being applied to a search engine, really what these patents are about is, hey, we want to be the best at getting machines to understand text and be confident in that text being accurate and trustworthy. And we want to move away, Google said this, we want to move away from link authority as like just the main focus here. We want to start pushing content understanding. So if you want to be good for SGE, then all you really need to do is, well, how do robots understand content? And if you can master that, then it makes it so much easier for them to actually pull you into the SGE results. So yeah, I'd say this kind of thing will last a long time.
There you go, Ryan. My man. All right. So, man, we're coming close to time here. I have so much questions lined up, but
I know, man.
I'm going to go through some more, but some of the things that I feel that are important that we haven't touched upon is internal linking. I mean, what are some best practice regarding elements of like internal linking? You kind of spoke about it a little bit between content tied back to the topical map.
Yeah. So include semantically related words, organize concepts on a page. Think of your web documents as pages of a book, and you want to connect each of these things. So H1 is a chapter title, and you have subsections in there too. So you're trying to, everything you're doing should be thinking in an academic way. I don't know if people who went to college and had this sort of academic rigorous study, especially with philosophy, this is just kind of nailed into you. It's ingrained. You absolutely have to organize your thoughts and link things in a very structured way where, oh, hey, like I just read this piece of information here and it's expanded even further over here. And like, that's how you should be doing it. There's other ways of doing internal links where it could just be based off of page authority. That works, but that's not the entity SEO approach. Let's see. Oh, heading vectors. So a heading vector, Word2Vec is all about vectors. Google's plotting all of the information that's on a page, every single word. It's stripping some of the articles out of there, and it's applying putting them on a map, a 3-dimensional map, and there are different weights on this. And on a page, this map is also created, and a heading vector is basically saying, well, we have a heading, it's an H2, and then we have this text that's directly under it. So this text that's directly under it is going to be the most relevant. It's going to have a very tight relationship with this heading. And an H2 is going to have more contextual importance than an H3. So if you're really trying to rank for something, and if you're trying to do an internal link, for instance, not saying that doing an internal link on an H3 is going to be bad. I'm just saying that maximizing importance of internal links, well, if you put it as close as possible to the highest header, so H1, if you put something super close there, that's passing the most strength possible. H2, slightly less. H3, slightly less. Now, what I recommend is if you had a H2 and we have a specific, and it's touching on topic A, and you go into a deeper detail, a full article on just topic A on another thing, that first paragraph should use that exact H1 or title from that page and link to that page, because you've just sent a very clear message to Google. This is the exact context. This is you're also passing that relevance, and it's helping not only that other page get some sort of page rank, but it's also helping Google understand the very page that internal link is on. So that's what I would do with internal links.
Love it. And we are coming close to time. I had a few more questions, but I want to go ahead and just ask questions here. Take this last one from the audience. Sorry to take you back. Learning Core asks, sorry to take you back. Let's say that I have a company that does self-leveling concrete. When I create my topic map, does it mean that I should cover other related topics like polished concrete?
Yep. I can tell you right now. Yep. You want to talk about now the level of depth you go into that will vary. You don't want to get too lost in the weeds, but if you're talking about concrete, I just did a topic map for surface technology, which is like another one of those like industrial type things. And you can talk about all sorts of things. You can talk about all the types that exist in it, all the types of concrete. You can talk about all the applications of concrete. You can talk about the specific buildings that use each type of concrete. You can talk about the industries that are involved in concrete. You can talk about the people and the actual profession that's involved in this. There's a ton of ways to go about this, but yes, you want to talk about all of these things, but your main content, you're still going to focus on probably the actual service itself, the types of concrete that are used, why you use it, that kind of thing. And just a general hack is if you go to the actual components, attributes, types, and you expand that, especially in like, we'll use glasses. I did a topic map for a big glasses company trying to compete with Warby. And the whole for the glasses market right now is if you are in that, people aren't spending nearly enough time or investing enough dollars into the scientific aspect of it. Like ophthalmologists do, but you could definitely weave that in, expand your content. Obviously, like that's not going to be a direct it's highly informational, but it's going to help all the other things. You'll become an authority. So that's the way to look at this. Try to find holes in the market where other people haven't expanded the topic map nearly as much. And that's one of the ways that I like to start, is try to find a chink in the armor and then explore that part of the topic map first.
Love it. Great knowledge bombs. I want to save some time for you to talk about your tool. I mean, because it is an entity SEO tool, right? Or are you developing an entity SEO writer?
Yeah, it's an entity SEO tool.
Yeah. So
the goal, Content Sprout. Yeah.
Content Sprout,
So I have my topic map generator right now is awesome. It's great, but it's not super usable for people to immediately understand unless you already know this topic or know entity SEO and topic maps. I have created another version that is going to be so much easier that I've shown on my tool or on my YouTube channel, but that'll come out probably in the next month. The actual articles themselves, I'll release a data study in the next, hopefully 2 weeks. I tested 25 different AI writers and I compared them using Phrase, and I used Inlinks, and I used Grammarly, and I used basically every tool that you can imagine to dissect a piece of content. And my tool's in the top 3. So in terms of just SEO optimization, it is up there. And I'm actually tied with Surfer SEO. So I wish I could have just gotten one little fraction above them, because I don't like being tied for number 2. But we are tied for number 2. So yeah, that's the tool. It's awesome. And we have version 2 coming out in the next week.
Love it, love it. And this is the last question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. If someone wanted to become an SEO professional themselves, get into the SEO game, what would your advice be to them?
I would advise you to, if you're just starting out, I would probably read Ahrefs' blog. I think that's probably the easiest. First off, Ahrefs is the best all-around SEO tool, in my opinion, that exists out there. It's expensive, but understanding, they've done a good job with content marketing. Start there, then read SEO by the Sea. There are patent things if you want to go super deep. If you don't want to go that deep, you could try to find a mentor. I would not focus too much on actual Facebook groups. You can use them, but there's a lot of noise, so I'd be careful. I know Lee Witcher didn't even let Honey Witcher look at a Facebook group. He was like, "No, blinders, don't get caught in this." I think that's going a bit aggressive, but until you really have a foundation to operate on, I would not go and start just naked in the wild listening to anyone talk about all these things. You'll get distracted. So last thing I'll say is, the number one thing that helped me is, one, have your own test site. Don't just learn. You need to learn, stop learning, apply what you just learned. Learn, stop learning, apply what you just learned over and over and over again. Otherwise, a lot of this stuff, you'll retain 10% of it. You'll have wasted a ton of time. So actually do the work. And if you want some site that has a ton of traffic already, offer to do work for free. Knock on doors. Talk to anyone, do work for free. Treat it like college. If you can just get that experience, and heck, it's worth paying people. Hey, I'll pay you to get the experience of working on a giant website. I would do that. Heck, I would do that right now. There's the most invaluable thing, I think, for an SEO is experiencing every possible thing you can in the wild and actually getting to solve real world problems. Yep. So that doesn't mean people should contact me and say, pay me and do SEO work for me. But that's what I tell you. Do that, work, grind, actually put this to practice.
Love it. Great way to close things off here. And, for this episode to feel complete for you, is there any last words, and how can anyone get a hold of you?
Yeah, so YouTube, Andrew Sterling Ansley. Andrew Does Marketing, I think, is my YouTube. Andrew Ansley on LinkedIn. I'm in Signals Lab. I also have Facebook, which I'm not indexed on there, but I spend a lot of time there as well. If you want things that are less entity focused and more like how to project how long it would take to rank, or how much it would cost to rank, I do that kind of stuff on LinkedIn. My YouTube is more about entity SEO. Facebook is just general AI and everything. So that's where I kind of share my info.
Love it. Everyone's give a round of applause. Andrew, you killed it. You killed it. Can you hold on for one quick second? Just hold on for one quick second while I sign off here. All right. Wow, what an episode, guys. If you like it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And please support our sponsors. We have magicpr.com for your press releases distribution and SEOnitro.com for your backlinking stuff. All right, I will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, cause the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show, let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre DeVera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!